This episode of the Spoilercast is brought to you by Geeks Who Drink. Geeks Who Drink is a homegrown pub trivia quiz where you can play in teams of up to 6 people or by yourself if you're a super genius. There are events all over the country, so there's bound to be one near you. For more information and to find a contest in your area, visit geekswhodrink.com and join the revolution, wise ass.
I can't take.
Hey,
it's
Spoilercast.
Everybody,
We are here to talk about Breaking Bad.
We did a Spoilercast for Breaking Bad before.
Someone has been pissing me the fuck off.
Why?
Because he keeps tweeting at me, hey, why are you doing a Breaking Bad Spoilercast? You already did one.
Well, that's true. We've done one, so why do another one?
They kept making the show. I don't know if you know that.
That was
No, you got a good point, though, because we haven't done Game of Thrones. We haven't done...
We did Game of Thrones.
Did we?
Well,
We did.
Game of Thrones
We did do that. We did do
fucking
that.
turkey legs and mead.
That guy's a fucking asshole. What is he talking about?
Yeah, screw
No,
that
but
guy.
it's like, I can understand why people would be upset if we come back to Breaking Bad.
Still
But then don't
used.
fucking watch it. I mean, it's a specific topic.
Yeah.
So we are halfway through season 5, the final season of Breaking Bad.
Listen, it's season 5 is done.
Yeah,
It's season
season
6.
I don't like when they do that.
I hate when they
All
fucking
right.
do
If
that.
it happened in 2 different years, it's 2 different
And
seasons.
they'll say that the reason they do that is because season 5 was only 8 episodes. How long was season 1? Season 1 was like 6 episodes.
Yeah, season 1 was really short.
So, I mean, yeah, season 1's like nothing. It's like one DVD.
Was it really?
yeah.
Are you sure?
It was like 6 or 8 episodes, yeah.
No,
So-
was it? Was it really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was real short.
A lot of the cable shows are really short.
Yeah, because remember, season 1, Walt kills the guy with the bike lock in the basement. Great fucking scene. And then he ends up vanishing. Remember, he just drops off the face of the earth. No one knows where he is.
Okay,
Like his fugue state.
set the
Oh, you're
grounds
talking about
again.
The dead guy.
Huh?
We should set the grounds rules
yeah.
for what we're going to be doing here today. So, Breaking Bad is a show we all like to talk about and watch, but when we talk about it on the podcast, we find we have to not talk about specific things. So the purpose of a spoiler cast is not to ruin it for people, it's just to let people know that we're going to be talking about Breaking Bad without worrying about whether or not something's going to be a spoiler.
Right. So I just looked it up. Breaking Bad season 1 was 7 episodes.
There you go.
It ran
I
from
knew it wasn't 6.
Okay, good.
Well, in that
Fucking
case.
point for you.
So Breaking Bad was out before or after Mad Men. Which one came out first?
So this was, what, January
2008.
2008. I think Mad Men came out later, didn't it?
Because AMC had a huge revival with, like an HBO style
Yeah, it was
resurrection
This
for
Mad
AMC.
Men and Walking Dead.
You ever watch an AMC show before Mad Men or Breaking Bad?
Didn't they show old movies? Like, that was their big thing? Wasn't AMC stand for American Movie Classics?
Yeah.
So Mad Men started July 2007.
So
it was
only
on for
6
about
months.
6 months.
And I think Mad Men had a huge first season where everyone was super into Mad Men, and then I kept hearing about Breaking Bad, and now Breaking Bad is the show, and I don't think anybody's really watching Mad Men too much anymore.
All right,
I
so
heard about Breaking Bad because you said Shannon was in it.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Shannon is in it.
he's in season 2, right?
Yeah, I don't think I was not watching the show at that point when he was in it. And I think
Yeah.
it was after he was in it. I was like, okay, maybe I should start.
This is one of the
watching
few
the show.
shows.
Another Rooster Teeth actor's in it too.
This is one of the few shows that I caught day one.
Ryan Leaf is in it.
Who's Ryan Leaf?
He was in our stuff that we did for what's it called? City of Heroes.
Right.
And the person who plays the director in Jack Lee in Red vs. Blue, he was in that as well. They play mafioso dudes who will level up your character. And Ryan Leaf was the kid in the bedroom who was that. And then he went on to be in Super 8.
Yeah, he's in Super 8.
Yeah.
right?
So, but he was the kid. He was in it when. Am I saying his name right? Is it Ryan Leaf?
That sounds right.
Oh, there we got a shot of Shannon.
Oh, there's Shannon.
there's
Yeah.
Shannon.
Shannon played another
God.
meth dealer.
I think his name was Twitchy Dude or something.
I love his fake hair hanging out of his hat.
That's huge. He had a scene with Bryan Cranston,
He had
the
a-
main character of the show. Like they had an exchange.
No, he had a scene that's one of these scenes whenever they do recaps of
Yeah.
seasons. That's the one to get out of my territory. That's a fucking great scene.
Of all the small, tiny parts you get, that must
Yeah.
be he must have just been like, I can't believe it. It's one-on-one with the main guy.
No, I don't think he knew how big it was. I mean,
yeah.
I don't think it was as big as it is.
I feel
today.
that's when it was on the upswing.
Yeah.
It had a big following, but it was a very passionate following that was growing.
Well,
at that point.
really, that scene right there, that's when Walt sort of turns over and he's like, all right, I'm going to be this bad motherfucker from this point on. That's when he's it's threatening other dealers or other distributors.
That's when he became the man who knocks.
Yeah, that's when Heisenberg started slowly taking over Walt, you know?
So there was that scene. Speaking of Heisenberg, there was that scene.
I want to correct
last
myself, by
season.
the way, because to be a total asshole, it's Ryan Lee. I was confusing his
Ryan
name with
Lee.
the quarterback Ryan Leaf.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so Ryan Lee.
There was
Related
that.
to Jack Lee.
No, it's a good question. Yeah,
that's
they
not a good question.
It's totally a good question. They both have the same
Jack
last
Lee's
name.
British.
You
You think they're related to British people?
Yeah, totally. It's impossible that you'd be related to a Brit.
There are loads
right.
of British people here who have American kids.
All right.
Dummy.
So there was that one awkward scene this last season where Walter White goes to meet with the Phoenix distributors, and he has that "Say my
God.
name, say my name." I was like,
That's a great fucking scene.
the "Say my name" line makes me roll my eyes every
He
time.
wouldn't have said it. Like, that guy wouldn't have said his name.
Well,
do
no,
you mean?
because he was shocked. He was shocked to realize, like, oh shit, this is the guy.
Yeah, but
like,
that guy was...
that shows you how powerful Heisenberg is. I mean, that's
He
like
made someone say his name.
I don't
no,
think...
no, that because like he had such a reputation.
Oh, there's a scene. Man, they're fucking on the spot.
He had such a reputation that it was like he rolls up and it's like, oh shit,
But do you
this is you are Heisenberg.
Yeah.
Like that. I mean, that shows you how big and how important he is. I mean, he brought a new product to the market, and then
Do you not think that guy, who is the head of the opposition, who is very high up, would say his name that way? And be like, Heisenberg.
Yeah, he kind of like whispered
Yeah,
it.
that's
It
what I'm
was
saying.
weird.
I don't think that guy would have
What?
bitched like that. bitched out.
That might be my favorite cold open. Then he just says, "You're goddamn right." And he puts
See,
the hat on. And it's like,
That's exactly it. Is that that scene? I agree with Gus and with you. Like, oh my god, what is this scene? But then, as always, Bryan Cranston saved it. But he goes, "You're goddamn right, I am." I mean, nobody could ever deliver a line like that.
that cold open, and then the one that Ryan Johnson did, the car, the bonfire. That might be one of my favorite opens too.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
that song or that shot maybe made dubstep.
that
Wait a
makes-
minute, wait,
makes
Ryan
me-
Johnson did that?
Yeah, he did that episode. And he did the fly episode.
Oh, cool.
That
Yeah.
makes me think of that Far Cry 3 level where you have to burn
Oh, yeah.
all of the drugs.
the Skrillex
Because they
song,
play
yeah.
that same song, don't they? Bonfire.
No, it's a different song. It's a Skrillex.
Well,
song.
it's another song that says Bonfire over and over.
There's
So-
they must have got a load of weird camera equipment to do that shot.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's on one car, it's like a...
Yeah, there's some like crazy whip
guess I
pans
just
and
had
stuff.
It's probably just a
but-
track, right? Crazy equipment.
Insane.
It was just weird. It was just like...
They
What an
just ramp
insane
the
piece of
speed.
filming
Yeah.
equipment. A track and rails.
Literally a piece of filming equipment they probably had since filming was invented. It was like,
Yeah.
let's put a camera on a railroad.
It was probably a difficult. I don't know how
ridiculous.
much they did it in time with, like, how much did they have it planned out, and how much did they have that done in editing? Because they changed the speed of the shot too.
Yeah.
So was the job that day they just had two cars and some guys went back and forth a bunch?
Yeah,
So
or did they just do this and then...
They hired a guy who slices deli meat at a sandwich shop, and they're like, just move the camera back and forth.
You know, it's I gotta say though, it's really weird that like that scene sticks out to me too, because that scene seemed overly heavy-handed. Like with the two cars, it's when Walt Jr. and Walt pull up in the driveway.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's when he sells his Aztec for like $100, and that car's
50.
been around. Was it $50?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. He lowers it down. He says $100. He's like, what? And he's like 50, and he's like, okay, and then he rolls up in that thing.
I was sad to see it go.
Yeah, that car's been around. The thing's got.
Well,
You
he
know,
took the hat out of it.
Yeah.
That was the big deal.
And the guy who does the body work even says that thing like, "Oh, we were replacing your fender, and I found some weird gunk in there. And I remembered you hit a deer." It's like, it's like there's just blood
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
gunk all in that
So
car.
at this point, how many people has Walter White personally killed?
like his hand on the weapon.
He ended their life physically.
Well, he got the basement dude. That was his first kill.
No, the first kill was the guy in the RV. Gassed him, didn't he?
oh yeah, that's in the
trapped him
pilot.
in.
Oh shit!
That's why
right,
they
yeah.
shoot the holes in the door.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
that's
was
what
I think
it
there's
is.
3 of the guys.
That was Emilio, and then he killed Crazy 8 with the bike lock.
Yeah. Okay.
Man, Emilio, I don't remember that name.
He's good with names, man. He knows all the names of all the Game of Thrones characters too.
Yeah.
I feel like
I didn't even remember that we did a fucking podcast about Game of Thrones. He remembers all the names of the characters.
Game of what?
HBO.
And then
It's not TV.
he ran over.
You're not gonna be able to remember all of them, are you?
He ran over the two
he
drug
ran over the
dealers.
guy, then shot the other
Shot
one.
the one
He
that
said,
survived.
"Run!"
Yeah.
Fucking amazing shot.
One guy just gets absolutely mullered by that car.
Brandon is saying 20 directly or indirectly.
Really?
Or
Yeah.
indirectly.
Well, if you count,
But
if you
does-
say indirectly, that's
Don't count the plane crash.
Yeah.
Well, how do you count Gus Fring?
Directly.
Directly.
Well,
No,
he
'cause
didn't
it
do
was-
it. Yeah, so
yeah.
indirectly.
But he set it
Oh,
up.
okay, I see what you mean.
But yeah. But would you say Jane is directly or indirectly?
The jail scene where he kills 9 people. Jane, indirectly, because he doesn't.
Yeah, he just watched
do
her
it.
die. He didn't help. He could have helped.
But he is
But
the cause.
that's a big lingering.
Yeah,
he is
that's
the cause of
open-ended.
it. Because
No,
he
he
moved
did-
her.
No, she rolled herself,
yeah.
and he could have put her back.
Listen,
Didn't he
He didn't fucking inject the heroin in her arm.
Well, he didn't make people take meth either. But the point of it though is that that's a big open-ended chapter of the story. Is that Jesse does find out about that it's gonna.
He's
gonna blame Walter. There's no way he wouldn't blame Walter.
There's a lot of things that if Jesse finds out about, he's
Yeah.
gonna kill Walter. There's that. There's the Brock thing.
Yeah,
from last season,
the
season
flower
4.
or the
the poisoning.
poison. Whatever.
Lily of the Valley, or whatever it's
Yeah,
called.
yeah.
What was it called?
That sounds right. Something of the valley.
Well, it was derived from the lily of the valley.
Yeah, it's a poison that mimics
Ricin.
Ricin. Thank you. Yeah.
Which also the fucking ricin, that's just floating around.
Well, several times this season they show him pulling it out.
Yeah,
like when he had that meeting with Lydia.
Yeah, he had it under his
He was
hat.
going to use it.
Is that floating around?
Yeah.
Because Jesse ended up finding it. He planted it when they searched the apartment. He finally found it.
No, he
no, he
planted
still
a
got
fake
it.
one.
No, it may have been the original one.
No,
but-
he hid a fake one in the room,
Yeah,
didn't he?
Walter
Yeah.
White made a fake one and hid a fake one. So when he found it, he just threw it away. He still has the real one behind his electrical socket
It's
in
the
his
plug,
yeah.
And he gets it out and puts it back.
Oh, really? So,
Yeah.
so that's a fake one. I don't think I remember that.
Yeah.
So the one he planted in the Roomba for Jesse to find was a fake one.
Yes, just so Jesse would stop worrying about it.
That scene, Aaron Paul in that scene was fucking amazing. When he was like broke down because he was ready to, blame Walter for everything he had actually done.
And blame
he's like-
himself
Yeah. And it's
for
just
misplacing it.
Jesus Christ, like that was pretty
The
damn
bit where he
incredible.
just breaks down and he's like, I almost killed you.
Yeah.
Because he was pointing a gun right at his face for a long time.
Yeah.
Wait, so let's do that real quick. So
Okay.
for people who have watched all this, what are some of your favorite moments from the series? Like him finding the cigarette was amazing.
Him finding the cigarette was incredible.
I think one of my favorite moments is actually in the pilot. It's like the moment that really got me hooked when when Walter White hears the sirens coming, he pulls the gun out, then puts it to his head.
Yeah.
And like tries to pull the trigger and it doesn't work.
He says goodbye to his kids on the video camera.
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
And then just turns out to be a fire truck and it's like, oh shit, I want to watch the show.
Yeah.
I thought the scene where he's piecing together all the bits of plate and he discovers that there's a bit missing.
That's
It's a great scene.
The bit
you
where
write that?
with Walter and Jesse in the RV with Hank outside, and Hank's trying to like get him to come out. And he's like, I will, you will respect my domicile or whatever. And then Walter called up, or he gave him the number for Hank to call up and say Marie's in the hospital.
Yeah.
That was a great fucking. That's one of those like he is in a corner. What the fuck is he gonna do to get
and
out
that
of this?
causes Hank then to pummel the absolute crap out of Jesse.
Yeah, he beats the shit out of him. That and fuck, God, there's so many great bits.
There's also the scene where they send the two assassins are going to kill Hank in the parking
Oh
lot.
God.
Then he has to fight both of them.
That was an amazing scene, but those two dudes, that whole build-up with those dudes, that was probably my least favorite part of Breaking Bad.
Oh, really?
Like those weird twins who
They're
just
kind of over-the-top characters.
Like crawling
in an
across the
over-top-
ground.
Over-the-top
The
show.
one's okay because it was a ritual thing.
There's
but-
a great bit with those guys. They were filming an episode where they blow up a truck behind them, and they're just walking towards the camera. And so apparently, what's his name? Walt. Who's the actor?
Bryan
Bryan Cranston. I lost my fucking mind. Bryan Cranston was directing the episode. He's like, look, you're going to get to about a 3 count and that thing's going to blow. So prep yourself, so don't react to it because it looks fucking awesome if you don't react to it. And so they're walking away and they blow it. They do not flinch at all. As a matter of fact, like one of them pulls out a cigarette and starts smoking. They realize they were too close to the van that blew up or whatever. And so debris starts like landing right next to them as they're walking away.
I remember watching-
and they just ignored it and just kept walking towards the camera. It's one of the coolest shots ever.
I remember watching that scene thinking, Christ, they were close to that explosion. I
Yeah.
guess it was done with a green screen.
Yeah.
Then you see the smoke come over the top of them and actually shadow them. I was like,
Yeah.
were they actually there for real?
Yeah.
Deaf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They probably could hear him yell cut by that point.
Well, the good thing about special effects explosions is they're not actually very loud.
No, I mean the stuff they use to do it,
It's like
like
a puff.
Most
and a lot
gas,
of,
right?
lot of diesel fuel. Like I mean, even like the stuff explodes differently. Like, have you ever thrown gas on a fire and thrown diesel on a fire? 2 totally different experiences.
Yeah.
Why?
Dies-
What does diesel do?
Diesel, you can put. I don't want to tell people to do stuff, but yeah, you can throw diesel on a fire and use it to light fires, and it'll burn a lot more smoothly. You throw gas on a fire,
It explodes.
It explodes. It's a nightmare. Yeah, but it's entirely different. I've actually seen people who will take a tin can, cut it in half, fill it with diesel, and just light the top of it, and then it like becomes like a sterno almost, like that. Don't do that. Please do not do that because you will die if you do it. Half the people on the internet won't even know what diesel is. So they're like, okay, whatever. One of my favorite moments in the history of the show is when Jesse has the voicemail that he keeps, and he just keeps listening to it. That's a great device.
That's
Or actually, it's not a voicemail; it's her greeting.
Yeah.
And he has to keep calling it to hear her greeting. It's like the only
then
thing
it
he
gets
has.
cut off.
And then it gets cut off.
That was such a real moment.
It really was.
Such a real piece of writing. You must think that someone had done that who wrote on the show.
I
Someone
think
had-
anybody can connect to that, to losing somebody and having like some small piece of them left. Not maybe they died or whatever, but like one that got away
They
or
just
something
tell
like
you to
that.
F off.
Yeah, they to F off. So you call them all the time and listen to the voicemail.
Then even like the Tortuga, right? The turtle, like Danny Trejo, his one episode is like, oh shit, Danny Trejo's on the show. Oh shit, Danny Trejo's no longer on the show.
He's got a lot shorter.
Like that's just like stuff like that. It's like what the fuck. Even like after that, when Hank goes back and he's making the beer, like he gets in his own mind, starts making the beer, and the beer starts popping off in his garage, and he freaks the fuck out. He has like PTSD or whatever. Like I love little bits like that, and like how when Walt basically crushed Hank's knowledge of minerals or whatever. They're not rocks, they're minerals. Like Hank shows up and like knows tons more than he does. He's like
Walter.
Oh goddamn, Walter shows up.
Bryan Cranston.
But that stuff's awesome. Like small little bits like that where it's like, all right, fuck those things.
That's like one of my favorite recurring memes from Breaking Bad is they're not rocks, they're minerals.
God damn it, Murray.
But that scene where Hank took out both of those dudes, well, I guess killed one and then broke the legs of the other one. But that scene where he's crawling off the bed in the hospital and it's like kind of streaking blood out of his stumps, that was a bit much. That was good.
Yeah.
That was kind of really
even
nasty.
The scene with Tuco and Mr. Ding Ding when they're in the house and they're eating, you put the rice in or whatever in his burrito or whatever that was in his burrito, and he's just sitting there hitting the bell, freaking out. Like, goddamn, there's so many just awesome.
That guy
scenes.
is in Ace Ventura.
Is he really?
He's,
which guy?
Senor Ding
Mr. Ding Ding.
Is
Senor Ding Ding, please.
Senor Ding Ding.
Mr. Shikadance, who's Ace Ventura's landlord.
Really?
Yeah.
That's funny. But
I want to dress up as him for Halloween. I would love to.
You can totally do that, Grimace.
Do you remember the beginning of the movie where Ace walks past a plant and he snaps the leaf off and then puts it on his head as he crosses the window? It's the dude in the apartment.
That's
and then
him.
he takes the leaf and puts it on the big pile of leaves.
I don't remember that.
I also love the bit when Gus Fring his rise to power and how he came to be, and the bit with the yeah, I can't show this to Brandon, but there's the meme now of President Obama with Stephen Hawking, and he's saying, "Look at me, Hector." like, here you go, guys. That's it. I'll find a way to put that online somewhere. But when Gus brings the wine or whatever, the liquor, and they all share it, and then Gus goes into the bathroom and he's like, puts his glasses down and he folds the towel and he just kneels in front of the toilet and throws up, where he poisons himself to poison everybody else. Dude, he was Gus Fring was awesome. He was like so much like Walter, but like, as weird as it sounds, he's like the evil version of Walter, even though Walter's evil as can be.
Yeah,
you
he's
know?
more meticulous and calculated. Like Walter reacts a lot.
Walter got really scatty when he was in trouble. Like he would make mistakes and just freak out and like do really drastic, like
shooting
hasty
Mike
things.
Yeah, there's like all these like weird, like almost like MacGyver moments for Walter White, where he's like just piecing together how he's going to get out of this situation, and he always does.
Yeah, like it definitely was more. I feel like there was more of that in season 1. Like when he goes up to try to get Jesse back. And like has to make like the stuff that looks like the meth but is explosive.
Right. Oh yeah.
It's like he used like a lot more like it was a lot more MacGyver, so a lot more like his knowledge of chemistry was going to help him out when he was in trouble.
Yeah, that's a great shot where he throws it and you just see it coming flying at the camera.
The editing.
Yeah, but even now with the ricin and the poison of the plant. I mean,
but I feel like it was a lot more common back then. Now with the ricin, they've been like hinting at. They've been using ricin as a plot device in season 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like introducing the flower and all that stuff and the kid.
But that episode where he slams down the stuff and all the windows blow out, that was edited really cool.
Yeah,
you saw that first.
Yeah,
you saw him walking away from that.
And then
it pans up to his
bald.
That's the first time you see him without hair, I think.
Right. Yeah.
And it's like, and then you just think, where is this episode going to go? And they did it on a season level at the beginning of season 5, where they show present day Walter White or whatever, with the full head of hair.
When he's 52.
And he's 52.
Oh, yeah.
And I was thinking, wow, this season's going to be different. And then immediately cuts back after the credits to where we left off.
That flash
and you
forward.
haven't seen anything from that flash forward.
The giant fucking gun.
Yeah.
Well, you got to think like so. The end of
the actual spoiler part.
Yeah, the end of the last episode of the first half or whatever, the end of season 5, that took place about it was 8 months after his 51st birthday or so, right? So he's got about 4 months to get from where they are now to that section.
He's got to grow a lot of hair.
Yeah, so he's got to grow out his hair again.
So there was at the end of that season, there's a big montage of him and Todd. Jesse's nowhere to be seen, right? And then they make a ton of money.
They've got the Crystal Blue Persuasion song playing.
Yeah, it's a great
and then Skylar and Walt just look at their big
that
pile
giant
of
cube
cash
of money.
that is too much to count, and she can't even weigh it to figure it out.
Yeah,
There's so much of it.
But then but the end of the season, by the point we see Walter, like he's got his kids back, he's done. Like he quit. Mm-hmm. And then of course, freaking Hank shows up and he's on the crapper reading the book from Gale. And that I love that flashback where it's just like, they didn't need to show it, but the fact they did show it where he's sitting there, he's like reading off names like WW, and he's like, Walter White. And he's like, you got me, yeah. It's like, fuck.
So Hank now knows that Walter White has been Heisenberg the entire time.
Well, that's one of the promos for the new season is just Hank in the
Driving.
car,
Yeah.
angry.
Yeah, his knuckles are white.
Here's the moment where he finds out.
Yeah. So here we go. Here's Hank on the crapper.
And this book came from Gus's like alternate cook.
Gail Whitaker.
Gail.
That was one. Yeah, Gus Fring had hired to help.
Yeah, his
instead
original
of Jesse.
And Jesse had to kill him.
Yes.
Yeah, because they were going to kill Walter at the time. They had
Yeah.
to call Jesse and have him.
And so
And if they killed
That
Gail,
was-
they wouldn't have a cook.
Season 3, I believe, right? That was like the end of season 3.
end of season 3.
was the,
Yeah,
because
this
the end of
is-
season 4 was the death of Gus Fring.
This
That's
is the
right.
moment.
So the end of season 3 was the death of Gail.
Yeah. And then
Come on.
That's why he's reading the inscription. He's reading the.
we didn't even see his reaction.
Yeah, because the inscription's like my favorite, my second favorite WW.
Yeah.
From your partner or something like that. GB.
Yeah.
And so.
And
yeah.
Hank has been searching a long time for the murder of
Yeah.
Gail. And,
Well, this season they kept telling him, like his superiors in the DA kept telling him to stop the investigation and wrap it up, not to follow Mike Ehrmantraut anymore. That's why they started following the lawyer, and that's how they caught the lawyer that was giving all the money to the people
Right.
in prison.
To the 12 or
which led
whatever.
to the fucking. That's probably one of my favorite scenes actually in Breaking Bad is the orchestration of the 9 murders within 2 minutes.
Yeah.
once again, a very gruesome scene.
There was a very like Rat Pack style song playing, like very serene.
Can tell you
Like,
with
the
beyond
watch
a
going.
shadow of a doubt. If I ever doubted before, I never want to be killed in prison. The way this guy goes down.
It's just sharpened
Yeah.
toothbrushes, basically.
I never thought like
Look,
I,
here it is, guys. You
I
gotta-
had heard about prison stabbings. I just figured it's like someone runs up and stabs someone
yeah, like
once.
you shank somebody in the kidney and
Yeah,
you're done.
here we
Never
go.
thought about like repeated violent stabbings
Yeah.
like this.
Oh my
God.
god! Oh my
That
god!
was the lawyer too, right? That's
Yeah.
the lawyer.
I like that shot of it's because it's backlit. You see the sun coming through, like all the dust and
Yeah,
crap.
yeah.
coming out. It's like,
Just
oh,
crap. Oh
Yeah.
man.
Like, what do you think's worse, the stabbing that the lawyer got, or the guy who gets lit on fire?
Listen, dude,
say
that
being little.
stabbing so
Oh yeah. Oh.
but,
Right.
awful.
this is
and
too
brutal.
gruesome.
Just oh my god!
Yeah, that's brutal. That's hard to watch.
Man,
Yeah.
that's-
It reminds like watching the red wedding scene. Reminds me a lot of that. It's like just watching a bunch of gruesome
Yeah.
death all
yeah.
at once.
Except you care about all the characters.
Yeah.
Actually, in Game of Thrones, there's a stabbing that's similar to that, but it's actually the kid who does it, Arya. She just knifes the shit out of that dude who's talking about her dad. Oh, we're not spoiling that one. All right. All right. Never
We
mind.
gotta do a
Don't
Game
worry
of
about
Thrones spoiler cast
Yeah,
at
we're
some
talking Game of
point.
Thrones spoiler cast. So there was an article. It was the 7
should just
plot
be a
points you need
giant
to remember.
leap. You do it.
So I think we've gone through most of them already. So this just was on the Breaking Bad subreddit. It's the flash forward we talked a little bit about, the ricin, the cancer, which we haven't really mentioned because in that flash forward he actually coughs, and there's like an illusion that the cancer might be coming back again.
Okay.
The
That's
GP.
gotta happen, right?
Yeah, they started the show with it. It would make sense for them to end the show with
And
that.
there's that scene in this past season where Skylar says she's just counting down the days until the cancer comes back.
Yeah, was she smoking
She
in the
wants him to
living room?
die.
but then she is kind of back with him at the end.
I don't know.
Like she's
Something
okay with
I
it.
will never understand is people who watch this show and don't like the character of Skylar.
She's great.
She's fucking amazing.
She's
This
evil.
actress is fucking
Oh, yeah.
incredible.
no, the actress is great. I don't like the character.
I love the character.
the character does turn into a bitch,
Dude, she fucked Ted.
But it's so appropriate. And
and he
she
tells him right to his face.
Yeah, right to his face.
then gives him all the goddamn money.
Yeah.
So he can pay off his taxes, and the guy buys a car. I would
Yeah.
be, dude, I'm gonna fucking cut your throat. It's
Well,
just like
they almost do.
Yeah.
Well, they send the muscle guys, and then he tries to run away and
It was
fucking.
like they sent the muscle guy and Bill Burr. I fucking love Bill Burr. Like he just pops
That's the
up.
weirdest cameo of all time.
Yeah, like he did the thing with the car wash where he scared the bushy eyebrows.
He's
dude
also
and
the
selling
guy
car wash.
blocking the train track.
Yeah, that's right.
oh right, that's where. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So
I'm trying to
that's-
remember what the other scene with him was.
That's
okay.
that's another great shot though. Is that shot that starts on Walter's face as he's lying down, comes up through the hatch in his floor, and he's just laughing because there's
Oh,
no money. It's
yeah.
just like, ha, and it goes right up to the top of the room.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
It's amazing how many times he gets completely wiped out and has to start over again.
Yeah, yeah.
You would think that plot device would get old after 5 seasons, but it doesn't. 'Cause
Yeah,
every time you're like, fucking hey, give him money.
Early in season 5, that's something they talk about when Jesse and Mike are saying, "Just call it quits, just stop." And he says, "I have no money. I owe money.
Yeah.
How is this an appropriate time to stop?"
Yeah.
He's like, "I've got to keep going."
But then
How much
there's-
money does Jesse have at this point?
Well, he has at least $5 million in a duffel bag, right?
Right.
Well, he's the
So-
guy also who funds the startup of the lab again early in season 5 because they each need to contribute money to get the equipment.
Yeah, and
But
Jesse's just not spending money.
yeah, Walter's broken, so Jesse has to spot him and Mike. He has to pay all the upfront costs to restart the lab.
There's a definite changing moment in Walt where he has enough, and then doesn't want to stop. He goes from just wanting to survive to the point where he's got nothing and his family doesn't like him, and he just wants to build an empire.
There's the whole thing, the empire scene.
Yeah, the scene this past season where they're going to sell the methylamine. He could have made $5 million, but he doesn't want to do it because he's in the empire building business. Because then they allude to the fact that it's because he's upset that he didn't make money on gray matter.
He's in the he's not in the drug business, he's in the empire business.
Right.
But okay, so also they mentioned the GPS tracker
on the drum.
Well, they mentioned GPS tracker. Like, remember, because Hank was tracking Gus's car at one point.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, and so Hank is like clever about that stuff. So they said maybe that'll come into it. And then they say the murders, which there's plenty of murders in the show. I
love too when he gets the data from the UPS tracking or GPS tracking. That the guy doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Like he just drives to work and drives.
Yeah, it's just that
just
line.
Straight line.
Oh no, it has like a curve. It's just like a 90-degree curve, right? It's like.
And Hank's just there, like.
This guy doesn't do anything. It's like Gus Fring is the most boring, evil mastermind in the world. He's amazing character.
He might have been one of the best characters.
It's like self-control. You know, that's how he succeeded. Was everything was planned, and he just expressed self-control all the time.
Well, think about the way he goes out too. Like. The last time you see him, he's blown half apart and he's straightening his tie. You know what I mean? It's just like so in line with his character.
That shot is so fucking awesome because it's all one shot. Like the door gets blown out and the camera goes down and it turns.
Did we ever do? I don't know if we talked about this in the last Spoilercast, but we were talking to somebody who works with us, actually Kathleen, and this is the end of season 4.
Yeah.
So this is the big payoff.
He straightens the tie out.
Yep.
God. Women freak out and. Oh, yeah. God, that looks so awesome.
Gross.
And dead. I love the wheelchair. It's just good. Like the other guys.
Oh, she's blown to smithereens.
Mr. Ding Ding just doesn't exist.
Senor Ding Ding.
Senor Ding Ding.
He's just a pancake on the ceiling.
It's a red mist that Gus inhaled. But we were talking with somebody about, it was after season 4, season 5 was about to start, and we were talking about Breaking Bad and how much we loved it. It was Kathleen we were talking to.
Yeah.
And Kathleen was like, oh, I just finished watching it all. We're like, oh, yeah, it's crazy the way the season ended. She goes, I know, it was nuts. And like the whole thing with Gus, and she's like, yeah, that guy's crazy. And we were like, yeah, his face gets blown off and it's like half a man and all that. And she's like, yeah, what? Wait, what? What? She's like, I don't remember that. When did that happen? I go, it's the biggest scene in the show. It's like, see, at the end of the season where he comes out, he walks out. Then we realized over the course of the next 2 minutes, she's only watched through season 3. So we basically ruined all of season 4 for Kathleen in one conversation.
Oh my God.
And she's like, oh, I'll have to go watch it. But it was like you could tell it was that was it. I would bet she hasn't watched a single episode since we had that conversation with her. I felt pretty bad.
Well, here, I'm going to go read this.
I still told the story, though.
I want to remind everyone that this episode's brought to you by Geeks Who Drink. Geeks Who Drink's actually holding a Breaking Bad themed trivia contest. It's taking place Wednesday, September 25th. It's before the finale. It's in 15 cities, including Austin, Denver, Dallas, Houston, Seattle, Boston, and Albuquerque. We should go to one in Albuquerque. The quiz covers the whole series up to the penultimate episode. Geeks Who Drink does regular pub quizzes every events 6 days a week at 340 locations in 29 states. You can go to geekswhodrink.com to find events, or visit them at facebook.com/geekswhodrink. And in support of this, they actually sent us some Breaking Bad themed trivia questions.
Nice.
Oh,
all right, let's do this.
By the way, Jack and I are enormous fans of Geeks Who Drink.
Geeks Who Drink.
Yeah,
So, all right, how many questions we got, Gus?
I got a few here.
All right, let's do some trivia, some Breaking Bad trivia.
All right, I'll find my gum when I know the answer.
Before we start this is so much fun. You should absolutely, if you can, find a Geeks Who Drink event somewhere in your region and go to it.
There's like
Of course, in the link dump, we'll have links to the Breaking Bad themed event as well as just the general events you can find. They're everywhere.
Total blast.
Yeah, Geeks Who Drink have been at the last 2 RTXs.
One of the most upset events I've ever, most upset I've been about missing an event was Geeks Who Drink did an all 100% Seinfeld night. And I was
Really?
like, oh, but I wasn't there for it. So.
All right, Breaking Bad question.
This is listed as an easy question. I have no idea what the answer is.
Oh, that's good.
What is Gretchen and Elliott's last name?
Gretchen and Elliott.
It's Black, I think.
Well, white and black made grey matter, didn't it? So, it might be a German for black.
Something like that.
Schwartz, maybe? What is it?
Fucking nailed it, Schwartz.
It is Schwartz. How did you come to that conclusion?
Because I knew it was white and black, and I was like, the name wasn't black.
I never made that connection.
Really?
Yeah, I never made the connection.
Black, so yeah. We were on the same page, you just got the German, stupid European.
Except you got it right, and Jack didn't.
I'm giving him credit for it. I did not get that.
You were on the same page, you were just down by the answer.
Another easy question. Fill in the blank from this classic Mike Ehrmantrautism. Just because you shot blank doesn't make you blank.
Just because...
yes, I'm sorry. Just because you shot blank don't make you blank.
Just because you shot Jesse James doesn't mean you are Jesse James.
Don't make you Jesse James. Another season 5 quote there.
That's a great...
Talking about Walter White killing Gus Fring.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Danny Trejo, we talked about this. Danny Trejo's informant character, Tortuga, isn't around for very long, but his death sure leaves a mark on Hank. What message is written on the side of the tortoise that Tortuga takes his last ride on?
Oh, shit.
It's something to do with being a grass, isn't it?
Is it?
I don't know.
Like being an informant.
Yeah. I got nothing on this one.
It's something clever.
It just says something clever on it. It's Danny Trejo's head.
Yeah, I can't remember that one.
You got to go?
Hola, DEA.
Hola, DEA.
Oh, it does?
Nice.
Junior chemist Gail Bedecker embarrasses himself posthumously by butchering this song that was originally recorded in German.
Oh my God!
Oh,
Karaoke
it's
song.
Not, it's not Left Balloons. Fuck. I just watched this video recently where he's singing.
It's a great video.
It's a great
it's not
video.
in the show, is it? It's like
a clip of it is.
Yeah,
Like
there's you can watch the whole
Yeah.
video
there's a full
online.
version?
There's a full version.
The full karaoke thing.
There's,
It's like-
there's that moment where Hank and Walt are just watching it on the TV, and Hank's like, and Walt's like, oh.
yeah.
I don't know the
It's,
song. I never heard it before.
Shit. It's not an ABBA song. I
Want
can't
to get
think
a
of it.
musical cue here? See if I can play this.
Yeah.
Let's see if we
He's
can
gonna come up- he's gonna come
let's
with
see if we
that.
get this video taken down from YouTube. Play some music.
Yeah.
We got 10 seconds
ahead.
to make them count.
It's Major Tom.
Major Tom.
And last one more.
Look at
Major
him right
Tom.
here.
We'll definitely link the video.
Yeah.
Great video.
I'll see if I can pull it up.
All right, last question.
When Skinny Pete and Badger purchase rolling equipment boxes, what band name do they have stenciled on the side of the case?
Vamonos Pest?
Yeah.
Correct? Vamonos
Named it.
Pest.
Yeah.
Which is, of course, the name of the pest control company.
So Gavin wins 2-0-1.
Is that
which
it?
is, yeah.
Which is enjoying that.
I like Geeks Who Drink. I've been fucking shitty at trivia.
That's another great idea that they have for setting up the mobile meth labs, is going to the houses that are tented for pest
I
control.
don't think that would have been way down there on my list in terms of
But then you
where's a
come
good
back and the
idea.
whole house smells like cat piss. I mean, isn't that the
It's
hard
going to
thing?
smell like chemicals anyway.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the whole point of it. Is
Well,
that
isn't
there
that-
are vents with chemicals coming out.
There was-
But
I mean,
they
there's
do make it a point to show them venting the gas out of the house.
Yeah.
So that it dissipates and neighbors don't
Yeah,
suspect
they
anything.
assume it's chemicals anyway.
I love just watching other people's TVs on other people's couches while they're cooking meth. It's really funny.
Well, they made a whole this huge fucking deal about how remember when the fly was in the
Contamination?
room? Yeah, and the contamination, like with that one fly, that's gonna ruin our batch. They spent a whole episode trying to kill the fly, and it's like, fuck it, house full of
I
cockroaches.
think that was a
That's
side
not-
effect of Walter's insanity.
That's Walter just losing the plot.
Yeah,
He
okay.
doesn't really care about the fly. He's just making a point.
I think the fly episode is when they made the ricin as well. I think
There's
that's the
a
same
really
episode.
cool shot in that fly episode where Walter falls down. They do a lot of things in one shot. Like he falls down off the thing trying to hit the fly and like bangs off
yeah.
one of the tanks and lands on the ground. And then there's like a pause and the camera moves in and it's Bryan Cranston. And they did some weird fade between the stuntman. They must have like had a freeze frame and had him mimic the exact position that the stunt guy landed in. It's just a really cool shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's some of the stuff in that scene in particular, or in that episode, was also over the top. Like there's a whole scene where they're cleaning the tanks, and they have the camera like on the scrub brush as Jesse's scrubbing everything, and like that went on for way too long.
That's not out of place though. They do a load of weird stuff like that.
when the lawyers get putting the money in the safe deposit box, they have a camera on his hand, and you can see him like turn the key and pull the thing out, and then put the money
I
in.
love that stuff.
Like,
You really like that stuff.
there's
It
also-
doesn't take you out of the moment.
Not really.
You guys want to see Gary's karaoke? Do you care at
We'll
all?
watch a little bit of it.
Brandon, you got this here. We got karaoke.
Love the Nick
I
scarf.
really miss the Gail Bedecker character.
Yeah, that was such a cool character. Like that huge contraption he had to make the coffee. You know.
I love
Yeah,
that.
that's
I
cool.
love that.
That's
Yeah.
good. That's good character stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
They're not, they're not in any way similar, but I'm gonna draw a comparison here. There's a show right now that is on Netflix. It just debuted. It's called Orange is the New Black. Has anybody here watched that at
No,
all?
I have not seen it yet.
I won't go too much into depth
prison
because
show.
yeah, it's a prison show, female prison show. I've watched 8 episodes of that show. I swear, man, more happens in one commercial break for Breaking Bad than happens in 8 episodes of that show.
Slow moving.
People love this show, this Orange is the New Black, but there's like we talk about all these moments in Breaking Bad of like, danger, and there's raising the stakes, and it's like there's all this intrigue. There's like none of that taking place in Orange is the New Black. I
talking
don't know
about-
why I feel compelled to bring that up, but it's like every time I watch it, I think like, man, this is like Breaking Bad light, essentially.
We were talking about that yesterday with the train episode. That's one episode. They go from planning the heist to like actually robbing the train to getting away with it to killing the kid. All like that was one episode.
Yeah, I felt like they accelerated the timeline a lot in season 5. Like I felt like in an earlier season that would have been like a 2 or 3 episode arc. But since they're so limited on the number of episodes they can make, they jammed it all out, which is awesome. I thought that was a fantastic episode.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, we are about a year and a half into the actual timeline on the show.
You think that's what it is?
Well, no, because the beginning of the first episode, it was they were celebrating his 50th birthday. It was the big surprise party, and then the beginning of season 5 was him writing 52. So I mean, that's a 2-year span. And like, God, it's crazy to think all this has happened in just that amount of time.
I love the differences between the years as well. Like 50 is Skylar's really happy making the 50 out of bacon.
Yeah.
She's like, 51. She's like,
yeah, she like kicks Walt Jr.'s bacon.
Yeah. And 52, he's just alone in a diner.
Yeah, well,
And he breaks the bacon too, which is a big deal apparently.
Yeah, well, apparently,
people really analyze what he does.
People say he takes on the traits of people he's killed. So, for example, he started eating his sandwiches without the crust because he killed the guy.
Okay.
He killed the guy in the basement, and like he asked for that crust. Crazy 8. And then he ended up like drinking his coffee the way that Mike did after he killed Mike. Like he went to the place to meet up with the chick, and he had his coffee the same way Mike got his. They're saying, so since Skylar was the one who would do that, maybe he's going to kill Skylar.
Or maybe she's already dead by that point.
Yeah. So maybe that he has something to do with it. Yeah, people are getting really into this. Like, if you want to go really, really deep into this rabbit hole, look up the color schemes of Breaking Bad.
Right, yeah.
There are some people that do some serious analyzation on, like, just the different colors and what they mean.
It's
like,
a little over the top.
It's crazy.
Especially with Marie and the fucking purple.
The purple, yeah.
Everywhere.
But
You're saying it's obvious in the show.
Well, I feel like it's too much. It fucking beats you in the eyes.
But I mean, people get really into it. Like, so like Walter usually wears green, I think, and like Jesse's usually wearing like orange or red, and
red, I think.
Yeah, and it's gonna like, but then Marie does purple, and it's like if you really, I mean, you can just ignore that and enjoy the show. But if you really get into it,
tons of
pretty crazy
foreshadowing as well, like the statue of the guy with half a face in the first episode of that season.
Yeah,
or the last episode of the previous season.
Yeah,
there's also a scene. What?
What's
in Gail's apartment, there's a statue of a guy with like half his face is like dark and the other half is white.
There's also a scene with Gus where Gus is kind of starting to go off the rails. He's just waiting in an elevator, and there's just a close-up of his finger just doing this. And there's also the sound of the lift hitting the different floors and going bing, bing.
Really?
Bing. And it's like massive foreshadowing on how he dies.
Yeah. Huh.
It's cool.
That's crazy. Oh, dude, I just another scene popped in my head is when Senor Ding Ding goes to the DEA because he wants to tell everyone what they did.
Oh yeah.
And then he's like spelling it out, and Hank's just sitting there pissed off.
And
so
he like cancels it because she's like, F, you, and Hank's like, all right, I'm out.
Is that where he shits himself or?
Yeah.
I think that was earlier that he pissed all over the floor, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then he got him back in, and then he sold.
Yeah, well, then like that was the last thing he did because I think like then they went back to the retirement home.
That was the ploy to get Gus back to Senor Ding Ding.
Oh yeah,
to make
yeah.
him think that he was talking to the DA.
That's right.
Right.
So that was Gus's motivation for going to, because he was trying to kill Hector at that point.
Yeah.
He had the syringe and everything as he blew up.
Yeah.
When did you watch the show? Like when you picked it up later, right?
You showed it to me at your house, whenever that was, over a year ago.
About a year ago, yeah.
Yeah.
So you started watching about season 4.
Yeah. In fact, I just finished watching through all of them as season 5 came out, and we went to the Alamo and watched it.
Yeah, like I showed him the pilot, and then on his own he went through and finished.
You know, I'm trying to figure out how we're going to watch it this year. Like, should we go to the Alamo and watch again? Would you?
I don't think they're showing it.
They're not doing it.
They might do it at Slaughter. They don't do it with Game of Thrones because it's a HBO show.
I thought they got
I think they got a cease and desist.
Did they really?
Yeah.
For all that stuff? Well, you want to watch it at my house?
Well, for that one in particular.
See if we can get a cease and desist. And did they do it for Walking Dead? The problem when they show it at the Alamo is they do the last 2 weeks. So if you want to stay current, you're like have to skip every other week or rewatch stuff.
How about we get a big pile of money, we sit on that and watch it at your house?
Let's do that. We'll just cool
Giant case
We got a
of
big
meth.
pile of money here. Did you know Buchanan is apparently on the $100 bill?
Is that who that is, Buchanan?
I only know that because it says Buchanan.
Yeah, it says it on her face.
It says it in the bottom.
I think that's Buck Annan. Some dude. I don't think it's actually Buchanan.
And then we also have plenty of rock candy. We have meth-colored candy and the wrong-colored candy.
So what do you think is the meth colored?
This one is darker blue.
No.
This is it. The lighter blue.
That's
No,
that.
it's this one.
No, it's totally this.
That's ridiculous.
This is so blue. No, look at it on the screen. Look at this.
Look at it in real life. Why are you looking on the screen?
Because the
same on
fucking
the
show's on the screen. Look, there we go. See, it's this one. It's this one.
I'm gonna
look at
make
the
it.
wrong one because I was looking at
Now,
myself.
someone actually at RTX brought me a bag of the rock candy they used in the show. Like, they were from Albuquerque, and there's like a woman there who makes all the meth on the show, and so she has a candy place, and so they brought me a bag of
Fucking
of
Gale
meth.
video still going in the background.
Yeah, I got some of that. We had
yeah?
it, yeah. We had it up.
I'm gonna make
Wait,
it
what
rain
are you
real
doing?
quick. Here we go.
You can really disappoint some strippers
All right,
if you
there
go
we go.
Yeah.
Now
in with those.
All right.
Buchanan. What the fuck?
So how close are we to finishing this thing?
Well, here we are.
we
Here we
got
are
about
at the
another
point
20
where
minutes.
Okay.
there is. I don't know if I want to do this right now, but if we have 20 minutes left. But we're at the last season. I compare the run of Breaking Bad a lot to the run of The Sopranos.
Okay.
I mean, there's heavy investment in it, similar theme show, and of course, the big talking point going into last season of The Sopranos was what the hell is going to happen to
How's
Tony
it gonna
Soprano. And that's got to be on everybody's mind. Like, what is going to happen to Walter White?
I think everyone wants him to die. At this
I was
point,
here
right?
wishing I had more beer, and I forgot that they're down here.
oh, can I get one?
Yeah.
I was doing the same thing.
I think he'll die.
You think he'll die?
He's so evil now. I think he'll die. I think he'll be the audience by the time the end of the second season happens.
Like the question is, how will he die? Will he die, like in prison? Is he going to get executed? Is he going to die of cancer? Is he going to die in a shootout? Or is he going to live?
Jesse's gonna shoot him.
I think
No.
Jesse.
I think it's either be Jesse or Hank.
Maybe
I think Hank,
finish
Hank is
talking,
going
let
to
me
kill
talk.
somebody this season. Hank is going to kill either Walter or Jesse,
Hank won't kill Walter.
or maybe Walt
Hank
Jr.
killing Jesse could be enormous.
Hank killing Jesse.
Hank has wanted to hurt Jesse and has hurt Jesse physically in the past.
See, I'm wondering if maybe like Hank tries to kill Jesse and then Walter ends up killing Hank.
There's no way Hank has never seen Walter and Jesse together ever, right?
But he
No.
knows that, or he thinks that Walter was buying
Pot. Yeah.
from Jesse.
That's
Right.
Yeah, that's how they were connected.
Right.
So what's he doing in the flash forward? He bought a giant gun.
And the guy says, "Don't use it," or what did he say?
Promise not going to Mexico.
That's
Or promise not crossing the border.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what he says.
And that was
So-
the same guy he bought the pistols from.
Was it?
earlier in the show.
Okay.
That was?
Yeah.
Which pistols?
He bought guns.
Remember he had the bed and he had them all laid on the bed and he was trying the different
Oh,
weights.
yeah.
He was trying to hide them and like what's the best.
That was like season 1?
This is why
No,
I
that was
asked
like
Gavin
season
when he
3.
watched.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Remember, 'cause he was talking to
Jesse,
Gus.
Yeah, sorry.
When he watched the show, because here's the spoiler for this podcast. What's up with his memory? He fucking remembers every single
He
thing.
used to come to me and ask me stuff. Well, I used to do it to a bunch of people, but about Red versus Blue because I just remembered all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
like, hey,
it's like an
haven't done this yet.
encyclopedia over here, though. It's amazing.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot. I think there's going to be a lot of deaths in this season. Like I
I hope Marie dies. Oh, please let her die.
I don't think she'll die.
Oh, come on.
Give
me that one little victory. That's
So-
a character I don't like. I love Skylar.
Yeah.
And I hope she gets away.
That whole bit with Marie where she was going to like open houses and stealing shit from open houses. Like
I forgot about that.
That was a weird.
And she
thing.
also stole
She's a
the
klepto.
birthday present.
Yeah, she was klepto.
Yeah,
right at the
that's
beginning.
right.
Yeah.
But that was when Hank had lost his shit and he was like, you know.
Well, I think they just like to show the impact that water has on people's lives.
Yeah.
So Hank gets, he can't walk.
Yeah, he got
but
fucked
that
up.
means so much more than that. It means his whole life is ruined and Marie's life is ruined.
Dude, poor Hank. Like he finally is able to walk again. And then Walt's like driving him somewhere, and he's like, "Oh, spin around." He fucking just plows
Well, that was
into
the
another
thing,
car.
is that Hank was making Walter drive him to all these places, and all of a sudden he goes, while they're on the road, he goes, all right, I want to check out this place. And it was the meth lab. So
Yeah,
Walter's
yeah.
like, Gus is going to kill Hank if we come here.
Yeah,
Gus is
yeah.
gonna
You
kill
said you
him.
hadn't seen the trailer yet for the next season, right? The one where Hank's just driving.
Oh God, damn!
Can we get that up on the screen?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
incredible. Oh, gotta go back.
Yeah, you gotta put that up on the stream.
It's a real quick.
Jesus Christ!
God.
Look at
Look
his
at the camera.
lips.
Look at the camera movement too.
He has nothing in his lips. Like, Jesus.
But that was one of those, going back to when they were driving to the meth lab, and the only thing he could think of was to steer the car into oncoming traffic. There's just that cut of like, we've seen this massive recovery in Hank. He's done all this therapy and he can just about walk again. And then it cuts from that shot to him in a neck brace again on the bed, just like,
It's like, God damn it.
Mr. Magoo over here.
Oh man.
But that's now that we're talking about some of this stuff, it makes me think about the arc of some of these characters and how we see them hit lows and highs. Like Marie, the lows, obviously, with the klepto sequence.
Yeah.
Hank, it's being paralyzed and having to relearn how
And
to
just
walk.
being a dick to Marie, like a total dick.
Which I think is great because it makes you so attached to these characters.
Yeah.
And really invested and want to know what's going to happen.
Well, Hank is like the unsung hero of this show. Like he's like the only moral person on this goddamn show. Like him, not even Walt Jr. Walt Jr. is trying to buy alcohol or something, right? Like, remember when he was like in front of a convenience store and he was trying to like pay?
Oh, right.
Yeah,
right.
it's like even Walt Jr.'s got a little taint on, but fucking Hank, Hank's like the only
killed
one.
3 Salamancas.
That's true.
Oh yeah, he killed.
Shot
what's the
Tuco
first one
in the-
named? Tuco, and then
Shot Tuca in the face.
Yeah.
And then
Out of the ranch.
What?
the ranch,
And then he
yeah.
killed both the twins.
Well, I guess he was responsible for the death of both.
I guess Mike technically killed the.
Mike or Gus, whoever got to him.
I think it was Mike clocking out at the end of the episode.
That's right. Okay.
But crushed him.
Did you guys like the bit with the magnet and the laptop?
Magnets, bitch.
Yeah, magnets. Bitch.
I loved it.
The magnet and the laptop.
I feel like it was a callback to the whole MacGyver aspect that we had talked
Yeah.
about.
I guess so. That one seemed a little much. To
No,
me.
it was fun.
The whole point is that they're so rich they can afford to do this.
Yeah, they can do
really
this crazy
crap.
shit.
They wouldn't get all those
Ditch the van.
batteries.
They didn't even drive away in it. It was like leant over
Well,
against the wall.
yeah, he's like just a little more, just a little more.
Yeah.
Honestly, I
And the whole
thought
van tilted into
I
it.
thought there would be more chaos
Yeah.
in that scene. Like you see all the lights going and then the shelves go over, but nothing really happens to anyone. I was hoping that people's guns would like start pulling them into the room and they'd end up like smushed
Their
against the wall.
fillings fly out.
Yeah.
Man.
Somebody's got a pin in their knee.
I love the junkyard dude too, like the old guy.
I did
like
love
that's
that
such
scene,
a weird.
yeah.
That's a weird
I feel
character.
like that
Reminded
guy's-
me a little bit of the Pulp Fiction scene with the junkyard when they go with the wolf to get rid of the car.
Yeah,
I feel like that junkyard guy has been that age for like 20 years. He's
Yeah.
in Friends as the exact same kind of
Who else
character.
is he? I recognize him from something else. Shit. Hold on, I gotta look him up.
Yeah, but like that guy.
both in your phones now?
I mean, that guy. He was also the guy when they were when they destroyed the RV. Like that was the same bit. He's
Yeah,
like
he was
he
the guy
basically
that-
kicked Hank out. He's like,
Yeah.
if they're not welcoming you in, you have to get off my property or whatever. So
Smart dude.
Was that the same
Yeah.
guy, or was it the
same
other
guy.
guy
Nope, it was the same guy.
who was repairing the RV? Remember, then he impounded it.
no, not that guy. Yeah.
You talking about the cousin of
Yeah.
the dude?
No, because remember they drove through the fence to take it out, right? Because you want to give him the key.
Right.
Yeah. You want to give him the key.
and
to
then
the
he
gate
came back. He's like, my bad.
So, what do you want to happen to Skylar? That character in particular. Let's go through some of these.
God, I don't know, man. Skylar is a weird character. Like, she's definitely not clean. Like, but she has put up with so much, and it's like, yeah, the I don't know. Like Skylar's a sort of a wild card for me.
What about you guys?
Yeah.
I want to see her out. I don't like Skylar.
Wow.
I don't like the Skylar character.
I want to see her in a giant neck brace next to Ted.
Next to Ted. So Ted's still alive and just sitting there threatened in a hospital
Yeah.
bed.
Well, there was
Yeah.
that scene where Skylar goes in to see him, and he's got like the shaved head. He's got
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
the
Fucking
halo
reason-
brace around, and he can't move.
Right.
The reason that happened is because Skylar paid the dudes, or got Saul to get the dudes to
Scare him.
to threaten him.
to pay his tax bill.
Yeah.
And he refused and then tripped and broke his neck.
There's a great allusion to that too, or like some foreshadowing where
Yeah.
he's just like walking around earlier in that episode, and he trips over the carpet, and he looks back, and he just keeps going.
Right, that does happen. Yeah, he just kind of just trips on it. a little.
Yeah. It's like, whoop, all
And then
right.
there's that shot of him, like you don't see his head hit, or you kind of do, but then there's just that shot of his arm and his hands like,
Yeah.
Yeah, like twitches a
Doesn't
little.
the orange fall off the table or something like that?
oh, it's just, it's really good
Fucking
stuff.
Ted. Ted is a shithead.
Yeah, I mean, what was his back taxes that he owed?
Yeah, for his company.
Like $600,000
Yeah,
or something.
hundreds of thousands of dollars, and then you get this out to get that, and he's
Yeah.
like, I think I'll get a new car.
Yeah.
And he had
Well,
a
I think-
rationale for it? I forget what
I
it
think
was.
maybe the rationale on his part is that he can continue blackmailing Skylar and continue to get money.
I didn't think, no, he didn't know it was from Skylar.
He did
Remember-
eventually.
Eventually he did, but he bought the car before he knew it was from Skylar.
Yeah, but then he had the opportunity to pay the rest of it back, and he was like, no.
Yeah, it's because he's dumb.
Yeah.
Dumb. So dumb.
Yeah, then she showed up at the hospital,
But that
and
is
he's
one
like,
of the-
okay, you...
I thought he was like, I haven't said anything. I won't say anything. Just tell me.
And he can like barely speak.
Yeah.
That's one of those moments where you're looking at Skylar's face for like 10 seconds there. It's like, and I'm
Yeah.
like, what does he look like? Cut to 10.
Yeah. But then she kind of looks at him, and she goes in all like sad, and then like he's like, I won't say anything.
Hi,
She's like,
Ted.
good, and just fucking leaves. I was like, oh shit.
What
Like-
is this? Do you remember the scene where like she likes being at Ted's because the floor is heated
Yeah.
in the bathroom? What is the significance of her putting the towel down and then standing on the towel? Is it that she doesn't want to feel the hot floor anymore? Do you remember that scene?
Slip?
Was that it? I
It
felt
might
like
be
that
that
has more
simple.
significance to that. Like she didn't like it anymore or something.
I don't know, man. But
At Ted's place, she does that? Huh. I don't know. That's a good question. Maybe
I've been trying to rewatch as much as I can in order to get prepared for the final season, but I haven't watched all of it just because I feel like before every season the past couple of times I've done that,
Yeah.
so I don't want to rewatch it all again.
I don't like that Lydia character.
I love Lydia.
Lydia's
You do?
awesome.
Yeah.
I think she's
Yeah,
good.
she-
I think that the
I
actress
wish
who
they'd have
plays her,
fucking killed her in her house.
Yeah.
I wish Mike had killed her.
I feel like the actress who plays her does a really good job. I really
No, no
buy that
question.
character. And I don't know. There's something about like the neurosis that character has that I really like. I guess I can identify with.
At the beginning of that season, after Gus Fring died, they introduced the company, the big
Madrigal.
The corporate conglomerate Madrigal that was behind all this stuff, and it definitely ran the risk to me
French.
of like, what's that?
French, right? What's
French,
Oh, yeah.
French and ranch.
Oh yeah, French dressing.
He just ends up eating the things out of the bowl.
But it definitely ran the risk of going the direction that Lost went, where it's like, oh, you've solved this problem, there's another layer above it.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, oh, shit. And I was really worried about that at the beginning of the season, but then when they introduced the Lydia character, I really liked that a lot.
So they, I feel like they had set the seed for Madrigal earlier. Like you knew, like you had seen on the barrels that this stuff was coming from Madrigal. So like the name was out there and you're familiar with it, you just didn't know what it was.
Well, there's names on the train, too, but, you know, I mean, you don't associate
It's also the
that.
logo. They very closely showed that Hornet logo and everything, you know, a couple of times with the Chinese writing. But I feel like that's the progression of the show. Ultimately, that's what it is it's Walter White's rise and murdering of every partner he has. He starts with Tuco, who's like a low-level street dealer.
Right.
Then he goes up, ultimately killing Gus Fring, who's a more regional distributor, and now he's moved up to Lydia, who's like global. She's moving him into the Czech Republic.
That's how he has that giant pile of cash, right? Is that she's shipping it to Europe.
Yeah.
Getting sales over there.
So it's just like he's just moving up the chain, and now he's global.
Yeah,
So soon, it's going to end on him climbing a ladder and shooting God in the face.
No, giving God some meth.
Yeah, the moon. He's distributing meth on the moon or something like that.
Well, was he even distributing in America anymore, or is it all going to Czech Republic?
I think she only when they the only thing they mentioned about it is I think she says she wants 10 pounds to start with.
Okay.
And then they have the montage of all the planes.
No, he's selling in the US as well through the
Arizona people.
Yeah, so he has two incomes. I think that's how he's doing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the montage, there's like it cuts back and forth between like stuff going Europe and then stuff happening here.
Are we going to see Todd again this season, you think?
Sure.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, sure. He's right there in the mix.
He's cooking with Walter.
No, but Walter's not cooking anymore. So.
But maybe Todd's cooking on his own.
That might be it. Or
I can't imagine we wouldn't see Todd.
He's gonna die. He killed a kid. He's gonna die.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah. That whole bit with the kid, that was a great beginning and ending, like bookends to that episode. Because it starts with a kid on the motorbike and he just picks up the spider and that's it.
Is there a
What the
significance
fuck is
to
that?
the tarantula? Because
I think it's
that
to help you remember that it's that same kid.
Did the kid have a tarantula?
Yeah, but even then, but Todd keeps the tarantula. That's the weird thing. It's like, why the fuck does he have the tarantula? But anyway, I don't get it.
JJ thinks that's really funny, or
something about killing kids is just hilarious.
That was
what if the tarantula kills Todd? That'd be perfect.
That was a
Bites
brutal
him in the
scene
night,
when
like,
the next episode after Dead Freight, when
Oh,
they back
God.
the truck up and then they pull the bike out from under all
Awful.
the dirt, disassemble, and then they pull like
And
you
it's
just see
a
like the
massive-
hand.
Yeah, it's a big assembly line of just dismantling the bike, and it's all going in the pots.
man.
And
It's awful.
I want to know. Yeah, there's a lot of dissolved people in this show.
Is there
Never
a
really
lot?
struck a chord with me because I just imagine the parents of the kid. He goes out in the desert on his dirt bike and then just never comes
Yeah, he's
back.
just wiped off.
Yeah,
the
they
face
even
of
have the
planet.
news report like that later that episode where they're like the search for the kid is expanded. He was last seen driving off from his backyard on his dirt
And
bike.
they just don't know what happened to him.
Well,
They
that's
don't even
also-
know there's a methylamine robbery because the train shows up with the same weight.
Yeah, it's sort
Yeah.
of slightly diluted.
That's also
Yeah.
a great scene where Walter turns the TV off and Jesse's super upset and Walter says, "You can't be upset. I'm upset too. I couldn't sleep at all last night. Why don't you go home, relax?" And then Walter starts whistling that happy tune and Jesse just looks at him like,
That's a really long just shot of Jesse's face. Like I can't believe it. He's just like.
That train episode it goes from elation that they pull it off to horror that he shot that kid in like a matter of a minute. And it's just
this,
like
the whole episode.
Yeah.
It's the biggest high and the deepest low.
When like is Jesse under the train sitting there like trying not to get run over and then like
a little more
Yeah,
pumping
yeah,
in the
yeah.
water. Yeah.
yeah, and they get it just barely seal it up at the end. They reseal it all, and they're like, yeah, and the kid's like, oh shit, and then it's like that weird
That
awkward
long
like
pause there. It's like,
yeah, and then Todd waves and
Yeah.
just pulls out the gun and she's like, fuck.
yeah.
God damn, that was a good episode.
That is by far my favorite scene in the entire series is when they rob the train.
Really?
I just something about it.
You didn't
it's
think
just
it was
so
kind
great.
of mental, a bit ridiculous.
I feel like
As opposed to what?
throwing fucking chemical
Yeah.
and blowing up a whole
I suppose
floor.
a high school chemistry teacher.
My favorite
selling
early
meth.
moment. My favorite early moment is like when Walter dissolves bodies in the plastic tubs, and Jesse doesn't understand enough about chemistry and tries to do it in the bathtub.
Yeah.
And it just like comes crashing
Yeah.
through into the hallway of the house.
Well, they walk in, it's like dripping from the ceiling, and then it like
And it's like
breaks.
splashed
And
up
then
the
later,
walls.
when the house goes up on the market, when Jesse's parents try to sell it, there's like the buyers who like look at the damage and like look
Yeah.
at the floor below, and then that was a nice callback to that.
There's also
Yeah.
that
to
shot
moment.
of Crazy 8 strapped to the pole, and he just sees blood dripping through the ceiling and landing on the floor. He's just like,
Yeah, that's. And then Jesse buying his aunt's house out from underneath his parents. When he shows up and they're like, "Oh, what are you doing here? We sold it." And he's like, just has the keys and he walks.
He sent the lawyer.
Yeah.
To like anonymously.
Yeah, he sent
purchase
Saul
it.
good.
and then he turns it into a weird party house, and there's that
Yeah.
shot of him just looking into the lights on his hi-fi or his stereo.
Yeah.
Phrases.
There's so many great shots. Like, well, even like the whole bit, like Jesse's brother. Like, I mean, you forget that Jesse has a younger brother. Remember, because like they found pot and they blamed Jesse and they kicked Jesse out. And then like as he's walking out, he's like, thanks for covering for me. He's like, you got it. Whatever.
He's like, can I get that joint back?
yeah, that's right.
Like, what a little
dick.
shithead.
Yeah.
But okay.
So what do you want to happen to Jesse? Do you want Jesse to survive?
I think Jesse's the hero. Jesse will be the sole survivor.
Jesse does feel like the hero of the show to me as well.
Jesse and Hank are like the only sort of redeemable characters I think in the show.
I feel like all the things that he did earlier on are now coming back around so much later to bite him in the ass. Like Hank just found out that it was Walter all along
Yeah.
who'd caused him to become paralyzed, do all this stuff. Jesse is going to find out that he killed Jane.
I don't
didn't kill him.
think Walter's gonna find out. Or
He almost admitted it in
he's
the,
gonna find-
totally
he's gonna find out
How
about
would,
Jane.
how would he find out though?
Yeah, I mean,
the only
Walter-
person who knows is Walter.
Yeah.
What is the
But he almost spilled it, didn't he? In that one episode where he was
Unless
drugged
it's
up.
something where like Walter is trying to get Jesse to kill him. Like if Walter's like just like he wants to end his life, that would be when he'd say like I killed Jane, I let Jane die.
Yeah.
And when like Jesse's got a gun pointing it at his head, that's the only case I can see Walter admitting that.
What is worse now, the kid or Jane? What would be a bigger catalyst?
I would say Jane still.
But Brock
think so,
or
too.
Jane?
Yeah.
Well, Brock lived, so I mean it sucks, but he's alive.
As much as I
But
want
Walter led Jesse on to think that he had hurt Brock.
Yeah.
for a long
Yeah, a
time.
lot of guilt wrapped up in that.
Yeah.
I mean, he ransacked his house over and over and over again looking for that thing.
Yeah.
I think Walter will survive. I hope he dies, but I think he'll survive.
Man, I hope it doesn't end with like Walter in jail. Like that would be like the worst thing
Or dying
ever.
of cancer.
Like it's got to be an extreme. It's got to be either he gets away fucking is clean and he just vanishes, or he's just goes
This
out
sounds so much like what people wanted at the end of The Sopranos. They wanted Tony Soprano to either get killed or get busted by the FBI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had to go one way or the other.
You know, I rewatched that final episode of The Sopranos recently for the first time I think since I saw it live, when it aired.
Yeah.
I loved it even more the second time.
It's
like
such
in
a great
retrospect,
ending.
watching,
It's
I was
such a
like,
great
this is
ending.
even better than I thought it was at the time.
And they're
so
just
good.
playing the Journey song. The door opens, and then
It's black.
it just cuts to black.
10 seconds of black before the credits.
How many
So
people
great.
thought their TVs broke, do you think?
Oh yeah. Oh, shit.
People-
The people probably thought their DVRs were broke.
It's one of the only pop culture references we've ever made in Red vs. Blue. Is somebody said he's really mad about that. It's probably the thing he's maddest about. It's like, well, really? Has he seen the end of The Sopranos? Because people were so fucking mad about the end of The Sopranos. I think the joke was even like 4 years old at that point when we
Didn't
made
you
it.
reference The Matrix once as well?
Yeah, I mean, we did some stuff. It's very rarely we did pop culture references in Red vs.
Maybe at
Blue.
the end of Breaking Bad will be a different Journey song.
But listen, I mean, there's another ending of a very popular thing. You and I both really like the ending of it a lot, and it's similar to that. It's like it's conclusive but open-ended at the same time.
The fuck are
It's
you
great.
talking about?
Nah, I don't want to spoil anything. I'm talking about the ending. I'm talking about the ending of something else.
Okay.
What?
It's an ending
He's
of
being vague on purpose.
I'm being vague
Yeah,
on
yeah.
purpose. Yeah.
Okay. So
So I like kind of vague endings. Like you're here for 5 years, 6 years. I call it 6 seasons. I don't call it 5.
Yeah.
And but at the Emmys, Jesse Pinkman, the guy who plays him, is Aaron Paul. He did interviews, and the one thing he kept saying in all his Emmy interviews when he actually won an Emmy last year was like, "Pew keeps saying the show's over. It's not over. It's not over. We got a whole nother season coming." Because even in his mind, it's like that's a different season. It's not like season 5 is the last season, and the last half of season 5 comes a year from now.
do you know Jesse Pinkman was supposed to die in the first season?
Really?
Like Vince Gilligan wrote it as he was gonna die. Like I don't know if it was like the pilot or what, but eventually he would die early on. And then like he realized Aaron Paul wasn't just nailing this character and it was such a cool character that he extended that character on.
I
So.
also read that the guy that plays Hank wanted to be in a sitcom, so he asked Vince Gilligan to be written out at the beginning of season 5.
Really?
And Vince Gilligan was like, "No, we've got big things planned for Hank." He was like,
Nice.
well, "Okay, I guess I'm staying."
That's funny. He actually is in a sitcom. He's in
Oh, he is? I
Yeah.
guess maybe he found the time to do both.
yeah. Oh, shit. It's
Well, I mean, shit, they only filmed 8 episodes for the season
Yeah,
5.
Speaking of which, I wish there's something on the internet that would get retired, and that is taking a popular show and then redoing the opening credits as though they're a different kind of show, like Breaking Bad like it's a sitcom, or Game of Thrones like it was in the 80s or something. I think we've seen that bit at this point, and that when the Breaking Bad one was the last one, I was like, okay, I've seen this joke.
What are you talking about?
Breaking Bad is like an ABC family sitcom.
Like it's like starring Bryan Cranston. He looks up like this, you know what I mean? And it's like,
but he walks through the door and there's like applause, like
I'll look it up.
And then Skylar,
I have not seen
Skylar has like a quip, and everyone's like, oh, it's just really shitty,
So you're just talking about like specials, like not in the actual episode?
Yeah, no. It's
internet jokes.
Yeah, it's internet.
Because they did that in Scrubs. They shot it like a sitcom.
Yeah, that was a whole episode.
Scrubs was a sitcom.
I mean, they shot it like with a laugh track and stuff.
Yeah, they did like a 3-camera show.
We took a laugh track in one of the episodes of The Stranger Hood.
Really?
People did not get that joke. Like they were like, why does the internet show have a laugh track? It's like, you don't get it.
Forget it.
This internet cartoon have a laugh track. Film for a live studio audience.
Yeah, exactly. Animated in front of a live studio audience.
So we're going to be wrapping up here in a couple of minutes.
All right.
I know you're looking that up, but I mean, final thoughts.
Gus, what's going to happen?
I think Walter White is going to get away.
You think Walter White's going to get away? Gavin?
I think everyone around him, he's going to destroy everyone around him.
How many people will be alive with Walter White?
I think everyone's going to be gone. I think it's just going to be Walter White, and he's just going to get away.
So he's just going to kind of go off in the sunset and vanish.
I feel like
Heisenberg will die, and then Walter White will escape.
I feel like we had that moment at the end of season 4, like the victory of Walter White, and he's like, I did it. So I don't think we'll see that again. I think he's going to die.
Yeah? You think he's going to be dead?
I think he'll die.
Bernie?
I think the thing I would be most disappointed by is if Walt Jr. has anything to do with Walter White being taken down. That will be disappointing to me. I don't know why.
What, like lame?
Or like if Walt Jr. kills his dad, I don't know why. It's like that. When I think about possible outcomes, that just seems horrible to me.
A little too slow.
I don't know what it would be.
Yeah.
Like I can get ready for school.
I think Walt Jr. sees his dad as a hero, like a goddamn superhero. I mean, like his dad bought him a fancy car. Even when remember when Walt broke down and Walt Jr. showed up and like cleaned him up, and then he called him Jesse.
Yeah.
Like that whole bit. Even with that stuff, I still think Walt Jr. just idolizes him. I can't imagine him doing something like that.
Plus, I feel like Walt Jr. can be bought easily.
I guess he's also like a 17-year-old kid.
But I think Skylar's going to play in heavily. I think either Walter's going to kill Skylar, or Skylar might kill Walt.
I think Hank and Walt, one of them will kill each other. Either Hank will kill Walt or Walt will kill Hank, and then Pinkman will kill the other one.
You know how at the beginning of the first episode it opens on that shot of the trousers flying through the air?
Yeah.
Walter White will be suffocated by trousers.
The ultimate
foreshadow of all time.
The trousers will go around him, and the legs will tie in a knot behind his neck.
He'll be strangled with trousers.
Here, Brandon, if you want to show this is the Breaking Bad. It's a 90s
I hate that VHS tracking effect that they add.
Yeah. But
I'm sure it has some kind of horrible soundtrack on it too.
That's so.
So this would be the
terrible.
opening credits.
Oh, it's all goofy and wacky. Oh, he's playing with the hat.
Yeah. I saw a bit of trivia about that pizza scene where he throws the pizza onto the roof. Apparently, he did that in the first take. Mm-hmm. They thought it was going to take forever for him to throw the pizza and have it end up right in front of the lens. but they had the camera mounted up there. He said first take. He went out, threw the pizza, and it landed perfectly right in front of the camera.
And it looks like he's actually annoyed. It's not like he's aiming. He just goes. It actually did it that way.
Yeah, they said they thought it was going to take hours. They're going to be out there forever trying to get this
But you know what
shot.
that's like? Some of the shots we've done in here, you want to go back here? Watch. Go back. Go back.
The ceiling caving in.
Go back, Brent.
It's so weird to see him with hair.
RJ Mitty.
Yeah, that season.
Does that actor really have cerebral palsy?
Yes,
He has something, but not as.
it is cerebral palsy, but
It's not as
Brando.
bad as he.
Yeah.
He plays it up a little bit in the show.
it was one of the trivia questions I skipped over. But yeah,
Oh, really?
Some of the hardest shots, on stuff we've shot, you prepared to do it a long time, and it just goes super fast, and you're really surprised by that.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was a shot in Reverse Blue where we flipped a warthog up onto the base and it landed in front of Griff, and he reacted to it, and that was like our second take.
Yeah.
And I was like, we're gonna be here all night trying to get this.
and then we spent a long time trying to get a better one. Like,
Right.
oh, we got it so fast, let's keep shooting it. And then we
Right.
never got it up there again.
Not even close.
We spent like another hour on
Then we
it.
had to reshoot it, and it was like
One of my favorite shots, I don't know how long it took you, I wasn't there, but it's where the warthog is being driven by the other team and it just hits a rock and just goes poof, like straight up in the air. Do you remember that shot?
I do.
How long did that take?
I don't think we meant for it to go up in the air. It just happened.
Yeah.
We just wanted to hit the rock. I like thuds better. Like in Relocated when we had Griff fall, and remember he initially bounced.
Yeah.
I was like, just freeze the frame. It's like,
I took the first frame of his impact and just took a screenshot and put that in.
All right,
And
let's do lightning predictions. Either survives.
We just predicted the
did
end.
that.
We just predicted
survives
the
the
end.
season, doesn't survive the season.
I just gave my answer to that.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, Hank.
Everyone's dead except Walter. That's what I
Okay,
said.
dead.
Gus has answered every question now.
Yeah, sure.
Dead.
No, Hank's alive.
Dead or alive?
Hank's alive.
Oh, Hank.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hank's alive.
He lives.
Alive. I say dead. Okay. The kid, Walt Jr.
Lives.
lives.
Yeah, Walt Jr. lives.
I think he lives as well. Skylar.
Lives.
Jail.
Jail. Nice. I'm gonna say dead. I think she's going out in the gunfire. Then Aaron Paul. Jesse.
Dead.
Dead. Alive.
Dead.
So Walt.
He's either dead or he's a hero.
Yeah, I think he's gonna survive. I think he'll be the hero in my opinion.
Oh, well, here's what I could see. He thinks everyone survives except for
he
or
thinks
dies except for Walt. I think if anyone's a lone survivor, it's Jesse.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how I see it going.
You don't think Walt Jr. is gonna die?
Yeah, I think everyone's going to die. Because, like, Walt, his world has to be destroyed. He has to lose everything in the end. That's the ultimate form of suffering. The ultimate form of suffering is not a death. The ultimate form of suffering is a life deprived of everything you love.
But he's already lost everything, judging by that flash forward.
Well, I mean...
He's buying a giant gun.
Yeah.
And he's alone. So do you think that the season 6 or 5.5 or whatever it is, do you think that will continue from where it left off, or will it start with the flash forward version?
No, it'll continue.
It'll
where it left
continue.
off.
So do you think the flash
I think
forward
literally
is the final
we saw a
episode?
shot,
Right.
of course.
I think the final episode will be the 52nd birthday.
There you go.
Where we have to wrap up.
All right.
We're at time.
What if the season ends before they get to the 52nd birthday? It's like, what the fuck was that?
Like, you know how it goes.
All right. Well, thank everyone for watching. I had a good time.
That was
we
fun,
talked
yeah.
a lot about
I
it.
wish we hadn't done a second Breaking Bad spoiler.
You know, we're going to
I'm
do
gonna
a
tweet you
third one now.
about it.
Yeah, we got to do one after
gotta do
everything's
one
over.
after the-
we got to do like a check sheet and see who got closest.
Absolutely. We'll keep score.
All right, cool.
Well, thanks for watching, everyone.
Thanks, Internet.
Get out of here. Beat it.
Are we going to go get some meth now or what?
Let's get some meth.
And